the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, the Republic of Slovenia and its capital city, Ljubljana.
Slovenia is located in the northwestern part of Yugoslavia and is cozily cradled by the Alpine mountains. Her gently curving, wine-producing hills open in the east onto the Pannonian plains, and in the south she is bordered by the cave-rich area of karst, which leads down to the Adriatic seacoast. Slovenia is considered to be one of the most important crossroads in all of Europe. Through her roads pass international traffic from Bavaria to the Adriatic, from Central and Western Europe to the Balkans and the Orient.
The capital of Slovenia is Ljubljana. Roman, German and Hungarian influence quite naturally intertwined its tourist and commercial paths. Ljubljana is a small city with a population of 300,000 people. Many people like to refer to Ljubljana as a miniature Paris, and they are not exaggerating.
History books first mentioned the name of Ljubljana in the year 1146.
As early as the 13th century, Ljubljana was established as a city with its own ordinances. In the 18th century, it experienced a great Baroque prosperity, and today there exist many historical monuments from this time.
Through the centuries, there are many different interests enacted, all for the sake of this tiny piece of lovely land. As early as the year 16 BC, the Romans established Ljubljana as a military stronghold with the name Emona. As you wander about the city, you will be able to discover many outstanding relics from this time. And don't be surprised to find in the middle of Ljubljana a monument to Napoleon with the revolutionary words Égalité, Fraternité, Liberté. At the time of the suppressive Habsburg rule, we Slovenes were deeply moved by these very impressive words. Our poet, Valentin Vodnik, for the first time in his native tongue, cried out from his heart,
Slovene, your land is fertile, and for the diligent its place is right. Fields, vineyards, mountains and sea, coal mines and bartering will fatten thee.
If we briefly look into its past, we discover that there were more than 100 crafts practiced and that there existed many professional guilds. Already in the year 1479, Ljubljana had special laws protecting the merchants and exhibitioners at the fairs. One of the most important fairs took place in 1811, the Illyrian Wine Fair, and had the participation of Italy, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Greece and other countries. With the construction of the southern rail from Vienna to Trieste, Ljubljana's commerce increased considerably.
In the year 1921, Ljubljana's Grand Fair was established, and it was the first fair in the Balkans. Ljubljana's Grand Fair signified the founding of the International Association of Trade Fairs with its headquarters in Paris.
The best of the graphics created during this time were exhibited at the Grand Fair.
The Grand Fair in Ljubljana was a unique conception. Here you found everything. It was, it may be said, a national pride.
In the year 1941, after the surrender of pre-war Yugoslavia and due to a general boycott, the fair ceased to continue.
In spite of this, the old Ljubljana's fair played an important role, and Slovene business considered it a necessity to continue the fair after the war. Today, this tradition is carried on by the Gospodarsko razstavišča, the commercial fairgrounds, which has specially organized business fairs and exhibitions.
If we briefly look into its past, we discover that there were more than 100 crafts practiced and that there existed many professional guilds. Already in the year 1479, Ljubljana had special laws protecting the merchants and exhibitioners at the fairs. One of the most important fairs took place in 1811, the Illyrian Wine Fair, and had the participation of Italy, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Greece and other countries. With the construction of the southern rail from Vienna to Trieste, Ljubljana's commerce increased considerably.
A valuable part of Slovene industry is located in Ljubljana or its neighboring villages and towns. It would be difficult to find any industries which did not have representative branches in Ljubljana. The people of Ljubljana are proud of the many turbines which rotate in many of the world's hydroelectric centers. These turbines were produced by the Litostroj factory, as well as all types of turbines and machine parts for the hydroelectric power plants. For the foreign market, they produce shipping parts, modern presses and numerous other machine parts. They also manufacture huge cement mills, lifting vehicles, cranes and water pumps. Indos produces small lift-up trucks with multiple accessory attachments. Saturnus is a well-known firm noted for its production of small tin products such as cans, reflectors, auto lamps and chromium embellishments. Numerous factories represent the textile branches such as curtains or drapes, upholstery, decorative materials, jersey, canvas, stockings and woolens.
Ljubljana's factories are beginning to produce more demanding products. They receive strong support from the research institutes such as the Jožef Stefan Institute, which has its own nuclear reactor, and from the Boris Kidrich Chemical Institute. Institutes supply the factories with the latest reports and findings, which in turn lead to newer technology and other research achievements.
Even more diverse than industry are the various trades. In Ljubljana there are numerous modern department stores and specialty shops which satisfy even the most selective buyer.
There are also many foreign and domestic companies representing foreign and domestic producers. Today, Ljubljana offers the tourists a wide choice of hotels in all categories. There are numerous restaurants and nearby inns which impart a taste of the local atmosphere, where a person can enjoy the national specialties and many excellent Slovene wines.
Brnik is Ljubljana's airport and can accompany the world's largest aircrafts. There are daily flights to Paris, London, Frankfurt and Belgrade, as well as charter flights arriving frequently from Cleveland, Pittsburgh and Ottawa. The airline Inex Adria supplies services for air cargo traffic. This modest packaging contains precious Australian wines.
Every autumn, Ljubljana holds an international wine festival with the international wine tasting competition. For a socialist country, this is indeed exceptional. This festival belongs among the world's most famous, and the management of the festival is well prepared and arranged by the commercial fairgrounds. The International Tasting Commission is also well prepared. The Wine Festival and International Tasting Committee has been going on for 21 years. They received from numerous wine-producing lands between 700 to 1,000 samples, which are evaluated by the Tasting Committee.
Zasílá Gospodárskému razstavišti 750 až 1000 vzorků.
Most definitely, the International Wine Tasting Committee and the commercial fairgrounds have earned an international respect in the wine world.
Gospodárské razstaviště i tato komise má ve vinařském světě respekt.
Festival at the commercial fairgrounds in Ljubljana does not only have a limited scope and competitive character, but the festival accents the latest in mechanical tools for wine producers and wine bottling firms. The symposiums, conferences and excursions are a permanent attribution to Ljubljana's wine festival.
After tiresome hours of work, we also deserve some vacation time. If you like the seaside, do not hesitate to come. In 2 hours' drive, you can come to the attractive coastal resort of Portorož or Opatija, located on the shores of the warm Adriatic Sea.
Or, in less than an hour's drive from Ljubljana, you will enjoy the fresh mountain air and the sun in a skier's paradise.
You can fly south to Dubrovnik in only 45 minutes' time, where you will be marveling at the rocky Dalmatian coast and relishing the delicacies of luscious fresh figs and sweet juicy grapes.
If you prefer, you can always find more than enough entertainment in Ljubljana.
Among the permanent exhibits at the commercial fairgrounds is the yearly flower show, the ski show, the educational material exhibit, and others.
In recent times, there has been an awakening to the worldwide problem of the protection of environment. The commercial fairgrounds has also cooperated in exhibitions centering on this vital matter. The first exhibition stimulated such an enormous interest that the commercial fairgrounds has placed this program concerning protection of the environment among their permanent yearly shows.
Ljubljana is a city of heroes. During the last World War, it was the center of the resistance movement, and the fascist occupators surrounded the city with miles of barbed wire. For these reasons, and to honor our brave men and women, we have
The Monument of the Revolution,
the Tomb of the National Heroes,
and the People's Parliament. More than a third of Slovenia is covered by forests, and the wood industry is one of the most important businesses with a rich tradition. A large portion of these wood products go abroad. For this reason, the annual wood fair has an important commercial and professional significance. During their conferences, they analyze the market and get a cross-section of the entire production in Yugoslavia. The industrial design in this industry has been highly developed. With numerous conferences, which the commercial fairgrounds organizes, a valuable service is offered to the producing companies.
Ljubljana is the administrative and cultural center for all Slovenians. Besides the Philharmonic Hall, there exists an entire selection of museums, galleries, theaters, the opera, ballet, an international as well as domestic selection of films and television programs, a university center and other schools of higher learning, the Academy of Arts and Sciences, and numerous research institutes. Ljubljana has its own summer festival, which includes world-famous guest artists and groups in the fields of ballet, opera, and folklore.
Another popular event and tourist attraction, which usually takes place on the last Saturday of May, is Kmečka Ohcet, the farmer's wedding, during which 14 brides and their grooms from different corners of the world marry.
The port of Koper experiences the effects of the commercial fairgrounds. Large quantities of shipments arrive by sea. Koper is Ljubljana's nearest seaport. At the commercial fairgrounds, there are forwarding agents and custom officials to ensure that there are no delays in passing shipments through. They're preparing for the fair of electronics.
Each year, more and more professional visitors and exhibitors are drawn to the Fair of Electronics. We asked the representative of the German company Siemens Works, what is the reason for this?
We are mainly fair specialists visiting professional fairs in Hanover and Munich, where Siemens exhibits electronic equipment. We also attend other fairs abroad, among which is Ljubljana's fair. We enjoy visiting your fair, and it means a great deal to us to be able to exhibit our latest achievements and to be able to communicate with other specialists in this field. The fair grows from year to year, expands and advances, including a larger field. It is especially refreshing to note that the fair has not become routine. For this very reason, it attracts more and more specialists in contradiction to many other fairs, which have become dull and tiresome. The commercial fairgrounds electronics exhibit is dynamic. We appreciate the professional contacts, which we keep up, and we hope to continue to do so in the future.
Yugoslav firms are aware of the importance of Ljubljana's electronic fair. These firms are Electronic Industry Niš, Radio Industry Zagreb, Rudi Čajevec, Rade Končar, Slovenian Iskra, Gorenje Velenje and others.
Ljubljana lives for sports. World and European championships still remain in many a person's memory. Ljubljana is a gracious host.
We can count among the following championships held here: the World Championship in basketball, hockey, gymnastics, table tennis, figure skating and others.
In Ljubljana, you will also find many of these sports for your own enjoyment.
The yearly fashion show is a diverse and complex business offer, interesting for domestic as well as foreign houses. As we know, fashion is a most sensitive and delicate field, and that it is difficult to break down the barriers which in the last 50 years have built Rome and Paris. In this light, Ljubljana's fair becomes even more significant. From anonymity, it is breaking into the world of fashion, design and creativity.
The commercial fairgrounds is not only a continuation of Ljubljana's fair tradition, but above all, follows new pathways and options. Specialized fairs, enriched with many symposiums and conferences in which native and foreign specialists take part, echo throughout Europe as well as overseas. In this way, the commercial fairgrounds spreads the reputation of good business partners and establishes a strong support for domestic goods.
Because of this, the commercial fairgrounds was given a very special and unique place in Yugoslavia and has acquired a significant position in world respect. After the evaluation of the international participants in the fair, the electronics fair has been awarded the third most important place in the world. Meanwhile, Ljubljana's wine festival has reached its zenith.
The commercial fairgrounds possesses modern and functional exhibition areas. With their engineering, transporting and advertising expertise, they can offer to the entire business world a valuable service.